And two court hearings involving former President Trump are set to get underway shortly. The former president has arrived at a New York City courthouse for a hearing in the hush money case involving adult film star Stormy Daniels and Playboy model Karen McDougal. It's scheduled to be the final hearing before Trump's first criminal trial. He faces 34 counts of falsifying business records stemming from payments he allegedly funneled to Daniels and McDougal ahead of the 2016 election. The former president pleaded not guilty and denies any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, the district attorney prosecuting Trump and 18 co-defendants in the Georgia election interference case is facing allegations of misconduct. A judge is set to hear testimony on whether Fulton County DA Fani Willis's relationship with one of the top prosecutors on the case is improper. Willis has been subpoenaed to testify, and the judge says she could be disqualified if evidence shows she financially benefited from the case. We have team coverage of both hearings. Let's bring in senior investigative correspondent Aaron Kachersky outside court in New York, senior reporter Catherine Faulders, ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer, investigative reporter Olivia Rubens outside the court in Atlanta, and ABC News contributor and former Georgia prosecutor Tris Timmons is also here for more. Olivia, let's start there in Georgia. How can we expect this Fulton County hearing to play out today?
Well, Diane, today is really the day for the number of defendants to put forward all of their evidence that they say shows this allegations of misconduct, the conflict of interest between Fani Willis because of the relationship with Nathan Wade. And remember, what the judge has said he wants to hear is evidence about the timeline of the relationship and specifically evidence that may show that she financially benefited because of that relationship, as the defendants allege. So it's on the defendants today to show what they have, and we know that Mike Roman's attorney, one of Trump's co-defendants, is going to sort of be leading the charge today. Ashley Merchant has subpoenaed about a dozen witnesses for testimony today. That includes Fani Willis, that includes Nathan Wade, and the judge has said that they might testify today. We are also expecting testimony, Diane, from a witness named Terrence Bradley. He is a former associate of Nathan Wade and now actually his lawyer, but apparently what he is going to be testifying to is the timeline about the relationship and specifically rebutting claims made by the DA's office that the relationship started after Nathan Wade was appointed. So we should see a number of witnesses from the defense today, again, all who are going to try to be proving their point as they seek for the DA to be thrown off of the case. And of course, the DA's office is pushing back there, saying there was no misconduct, there is no wrongdoing. And they also said that they are going to put Fani Willis's father on the stand, who will rebut some of that evidence. So a big day here, a lot still up in the air, but a number of witnesses set to testify.
Chris, how high is the bar for disqualification in a misconduct hearing like this?
Very high, Diane. I mean, so they've got to make their burden really, really high because in this situation, you don't want defendants to be able to pick what prosecutor is going to be handling the case. And so the judge is going to be expecting to see serious and also highly relevant evidence that's going to show that there's some sort of financial misconduct here. The reason why the timing on the relationship matters is because the allegation is that Fani Willis brought this entire case so that her romantic partner, Nathan Wade, could financially benefit from it, and thus she could benefit from it as well. So there are allegations that there's travel that she received as a result of his appointment in this particular case. And then there are also allegations of forensic misconduct. But it should be interesting, and it's going to be one of those cases where it's going to change minute to minute. The judge indicated that he may rule to keep out certain evidence even without an objection, and that too is going to be unusual.
Catherine, former President Trump's also trying to get the federal election case against him dismissed, claiming presidential immunity. So what's the latest on that?
Right. We know that Jack Smith, the special counsel, asked the Supreme Court last night that they shouldn't intervene. That was the position there. But the latest is we're waiting to hear on whether the Supreme Court decides whether or not to get involved. If the Supreme Court says, no, we're not going to stay these proceedings, then what happens is it goes back to the district judge overseeing this, and then there will be another schedule set by that judge. Now, remember, this was scheduled to go to trial in March, and that obviously has been pushed while Trump appeals. So if it does, in fact, go back to the district judge, then that judge will likely give at least 2 months, according to legal experts, at least 2 months for Trump to prepare for the trial. So the bottom line is here, we wait on the Supreme Court, what their decision is, and then we'll go from there.
Aaron, meanwhile, Trump is in New York for this hearing in the Stormy Daniels hush money case. So what can we expect there today?
Former President Trump arrived here a short time ago, Diane. The last time he was at this courthouse, it was historic. A former American president, for the first time, being arraigned on criminal charges. Now, as all of our colleagues are explaining, courtrooms are commonplace for the former president and indeed an integral part of his campaign. Today, he's here for a hearing to determine when the hush money case is going to go to trial. The former president has pleaded not guilty to falsifying business records involving a $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels made on the eve of the 2016 election. And the way prosecutors here see it, this is the original election interference case because, in their view, Trump was trying to hide from voters information about an alleged tryst with Stormy Daniels and his effort to try and buy her silence. The judge is going to consider Trump's request to dismiss the case. In all likelihood, he will reject it and then set the case for trial, perhaps as soon as late next month.
Now, Brian, falsifying business records is usually a misdemeanor. So why is Trump facing felony charges here?
So in the state of New York, falsifying business records is typically an A-class misdemeanor, punishable by a year in jail. And what that means is that you falsify business records for the purposes of deleting, erasing, altering, destroying, a number of ways that you can falsify records. That's a misdemeanor. But if you do that, plus your intent to defraud is connected to another crime or to aid and conceal another crime, then it becomes an E-class felony, punishable by up to 4 years in jail, but there's no minimum, so you can get probation. So here, what the district attorney is saying is, it's not just that concealing of information or destroying or altering, but it's in terms of aiding and abetting a crime. And what they're saying is that's campaign finance crimes and other federal crimes as well.
All right, Aaron Katersky, Catherine Falders, Olivia Rubin, Brian Buckmeyer, Chris Timmons, thank you all.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.